Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to give you 20 gifts you can sew last minute, and most, if not all, are scrap busters as well, so you can do them on the cheap. Does that sound good? Let's get into the video. I'm in the middle of a decorating the lounge. It's taking forever, but we're stuck in this little corner because it's the only bit that looks nice. Let's get into the first gift. So when I was researching for these ideas, I was trying to look for stuff that's a little bit different, a little bit out there that I haven't heard other sewing creators talk about. And the first one is a scrunchie, but with a zip in it, like a pocket in it. And I thought this was a fantastic idea. We've all done scrunchies, haven't we? They're so easy. On my DIY channel, I showed how to make scrunchies, so you can view that video. I was either on Pinterest or Instagram, and I saw this image where they put a zip in the scrunchie where you could keep your keys or a little fob or something, just something small. And I mean, you've got all that empty space in your scrunchie, so why not? If you know scrunchie wearers, that would be a great gift. Also, scrunchies are really scrap happy, aren't they? But if you're someone who gets really scared off by zips, perhaps you could add some trim instead to make it look a little different. And as it's for the holidays, maybe you want to use those silk scraps to elevate it. So the next one is a bookmark for the book readers in your life. We've all seen how to make bookmarks before, that's nothing new, but the ones I came across were so aesthetic, so pretty, so delicate that I absolutely loved them. I'm trying to get back into reading, self-help reading at the moment, and I think I might make one of these once I get my sewing machine out again. It's basically a square of fabric. I think you need 3 squares of fabric, and it's got you create a little flap over, and then it sits on your page really flush in your book, so it's not going to damage the book, and it's going to look good, and people will find where they were. I could see myself making a few of these, because if you're going to gift them, you don't want to just make one, do you? Because that people, especially if they're book readers, they're going to be reading lots and lots of books, so you could do like a set of 6. So this next one is for people who wear belts. So I'm not going to suggest you make a belt, because unless you have the fabric from their outfits, it's not going to go. But what I'm suggesting is a little pouch that goes onto the belt. So the first time I saw this is when Friday Pattern Company released a skirt pattern, and they did an add-on of a little pouch, and they just created hoops on the back of the pouch, and then it sits on the waist on your belt, on your skirt belt or your trouser belt. And I thought, this is a really inspired idea. You can keep your keys in there, depending on how big you make it. They could probably keep their phone in there. It's going to be close to their body, and it's going to be super, super safe. The next thing you could make is a wallet or a purse. I'm thinking a bigger purse, the American purse, not the UK purse. And these can be as simple or as complicated as you want. There are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of bag patterns out there. So you can basically pick what you want, because there's no fitting, there's no twirls, there's no excess fabric. It's made with scraps of fabric, and it looks amazing, and it's so, so useful. Depending on the type of person that you are making gifts for, the next one may be for you, and that is to make a patchwork quilt. If you're a garment sewer, you may not have done patchwork quilting, so it would be a great opportunity to give that a go. You could make the blanket as big as you want or as small as you want. You could make it for a baby, so just a small blanket. You could make it for an adult bed, which is a much bigger task. Maybe it's a little late in the year for that, but it depends how much you like to sew. I thought of this one specifically so you could use your scraps. If you're someone that sews in a very particular style, then all your scraps are going to come together to look really cohesive. I'm saving up my scraps from my linen so that eventually I can do something like this. Also, when you make a quilt, you can sew a little piece of fabric and embroider some details on the back, where they embroider the name, the date it was made, who it was for and who it was from, I think. But you could put anything on there. And that would be a really personal gift that could actually turn into an heirloom. Let me know if you like the colour of the walls. This is the colour my lounge is going to be from now on. So this next one I've called a scroll for cutlery. So I don't know if it's really called a scroll, but it's like a piece of fabric. Well, it's like a pouch. You put your cutlery in there and you roll it up and tie it up. You know the things I mean. I think this one is great for people who like to be sustainable. Sustainable people will often carry a knife, fork and spoon in their bag, and it's usually made of bamboo or some natural fibre. And actually, if you made a luxury scroll for them, for this, and even purchased some bamboo cutlery to put inside it, especially if you made it out of a natural fibre such as linen, I think that is going to be really, really well received. So the next one is for the women in your life, and that is a tote bag. Yes, a tote bag. On the surface, it might seem a really boring gift to give someone, but do you know their style? Do you know the type of bag that they like to carry? A tote bag can be a simple bag that we put groceries in, like a bag for life type situation, or it can be a really luxury piece, maybe made out of leather or vegan leather with a silk interior. It could be anything you want it to be. It could be halfway in between. I've made tote bags before and gifted them to people. I think they're just something that is always going to be useful. So the next gift idea is an eye mask, and that is with the idea of putting together a self-care package. So maybe you've bought them some bath bombs or a skincare product. Maybe you've bought them face masks. I don't know what you would put in your self-care product, but you could buy a few different products, put it in a basket with a few handmade things, and one of those handmade things could be an eye mask. And I think if they're the sort of person who struggles to turn off at night, then an eye mask could be really beneficial for them. By the way, I do have a video on last minute gifts to make for the holidays. It's kind of taken off this season, so I will leave a link to that down below, and it'll be at the end of the video in case you want to check it out. In that video, I actually make the things that I'm talking about. So the next one is one not for right now, but maybe for the summer. You could make it now, but it's something they use later on in the year, and that is sunglasses pouches. I don't know about you, but I'm always losing my sunglasses, breaking my sunglasses and my reading glasses. And this could double up as a reading glasses pouch as well. But if you made some, especially if you made them with sturdy interfacing, then I think that could be something really well received. You could even purchase some glasses to put inside of it. The next thing you could make is reusable sandwich bags. So if this is someone who goes out to work every day, this could be really beneficial, or even someone who likes to take picnics. You could make these bags out of waxed fabric. You could even wax the fabric yourself. So when I was researching for this video, I was looking through Pinterest. Pinterest always has the most beautiful images, doesn't it? And I came across some lovely images for tissue box covers. If you've got someone in your life that's always got a tissue in their hand and they've got boxes of tissues everywhere. My grandmother, my late grandmother, used to always have boxes of tissues, and she'd always have a cover for them as well. So I think this is a great one. Again, I'd make it in a neutral fabric just because it's better safe than sorry, unless you're really tuned in to their aesthetic, their style, and you know exactly what they would want. If maybe for a lot of these it's easier to stay neutral. So this next one I was really intrigued by, because it's not something we use here in the UK, but I think it's used more in America, and that is a reusable sack for dried groceries. So I believe some people, when they go to the grocery store, they take their own bags and fill up dried goods that way. And I guess they buy them by weight. That's not really a thing here in the UK. There are sometimes small shops that sell food in this way, but they're specifically for dried food. Certainly in the supermarkets, that isn't available. It's all pre-packaged in plastic, unfortunately. But if you are someone or you know someone, because all these things will work for you to sew for yourself as well as someone else. But if you do know someone else who does like to buy groceries, dried groceries, by the weight, then this could be great. So you want to make it out of fabric, and you just have a little mesh window in the front and do a drawstring at the top. Bob's Your Uncle could not be easier, and a nice batch of these in a natural fabric would be just the ticket. Can I just ask that if you are enjoying this video so far, you do hit that like, comment for me down below which was your favourite gift, which was the gift that you've sewn that has been most well received by others. I would love to know that. Doing all these things really supports the channel. If you want to go that extra step, then you can purchase me a coffee. The link will be down below. So the next thing you could make is for the plant lovers in your life. You go around their house and the house is being overtaken by plants and it looks so gorgeous, but you're like, I can't keep a plant alive. This next thing is for them, and that is to make some plant pot covers. Now, as someone who has slightly green fingers, and I'm getting better and better at keeping plants alive, I love to have plants in the home. As you know, you've seen my plants. Buying big decorative pots for them, especially if you like the bigger plants, becomes really, really expensive. A couple of years ago, I made some plant pot covers in some scraps of fabric that I had, but actually I used those pot holders, those pot covers, for quite a while. You can buy them, people make them and sell them, but you could make some to gift, and I think that would be a really, really nice thing, and it's going to save them lots of money. So the next thing that you could buy for someone is a bum bag, or as you call it in America, a fanny pack. Yes, in America, a fanny is something else entirely, but in America, it's a bum. I'm guessing we call the backside a bum. Anyway, I'm drifting off point here. You could make a bum bag similar to the pouch that I talked about earlier that went on the bout. A bum bag just clips around there, or you could do it so it clips around like crossbody as well. But bum bags can be really great for keeping your things safe and close to your body. Especially if someone's going abroad, if they've got a holiday planned, this could be a great idea because they can keep their passport, their money, their phone, all the things important to them, their credit cards, their purse, everything can go in that bum bag and it will stay on their body and safe. So this next idea is probably the simplest idea out of all of them, and that is to make a fob for their keys. It really is just a piece of fabric, like a rectangle piece of fabric that's folded over onto itself. It can be really handy if it's big enough to go on their wrist, because then they can keep their key on their wrist. Or as a little extra idea that I didn't write in my list, you could make a lanyard so it goes round the neck. I've seen people keeping their phones on a lanyard, which that would be really useful. Why didn't I think about that for this list? The next one is for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, and that is a hot water bottle cover. So now the last couple of years, heating has been so expensive, and I'm guessing we're all trying to keep the heating down so that it doesn't cost too much. And that's where hot water bottles come in really, really handy. They're kind of a bit of a retro, archaic idea. I remember my nan used to have them when I was young. But I've got one under the sink as well, but I don't have a cover for it. And sometimes when I put boiling water in it, it's a little bit too hot for my skin. I have to give it 10 minutes to cool down a little bit. But if I had a cover on there, maybe with a little bit of wadding in it, then that's going to be much more comfortable for me. So you could even purchase a hot water bottle to put in it if you were going to gift it, or if you know they've already got one, just make the cover for it. So the next thing is a crossbody bag. When I was making this list, I thought I could have just done 20 different bags to make, so I had to curb it down a little bit. But a crossbody bag is one that I personally have found so useful. I've got one on the back of the door that I take when I go out, and it's so good because it just straps over diagonally and you've got all your stuff there. I actually made a couple of crossbody bags, or I made one crossbody bag and cut out another that I didn't get round to making, but I will make it at some point. It's just gone 4 o'clock and it's already getting dark. Bring on the lighter evenings, I say. Just a few more. If you haven't left a comment yet, do go and leave that comment and let me know which was your favourite one. So let's get on to the next one, shall we? So the next one is ear warmers. I was asking my sister what she wanted for Christmas, and she wanted some leg warmers, which took me back to the 80s, and I was thinking I used to wear the big ear muffs on my ears, and they were so lovely when it was freezing outside. I had to go to school, keep my ears warm even if the rest of me wasn't very warm. You could make some of those, but not the traditional ones that I'm talking about. You could make some with a piece of fabric that just goes round and over at the top and just covers your ears. You could put Sherpa fabric on the inside to keep their ears really warm. I think that was great. So the next one is cushion covers. So if you know anyone like me who's in the middle of decorating, I've just bought a new couch. Delivery. That is going to look amazing. I cannot wait to get it out. I want to finish painting first, but I need to buy some cushion covers. And I think if I receive that as a gift, that would be a great gift. They're so simple to make, so simple to make. They just take a couple of squares of fabric. You can make them with zips, but you don't need to. You can just have them fold over each other so that the insert stays in. Another thing that you could make is a little round trinket box. So if you've got someone who likes to wear jewellery and they take it off at night, or they just like to have like little compartments around the home to keep bits and pieces in, a pretty round trinket box could be the way to go. So I hope you like that roundup and you found some useful things in there to think about sewing. We haven't got long now, only about a week and a half, I think. So we better get our sewing machines out, hadn't we? If you want more ideas where I've actually sewn the things, check out this video that has taken off at the moment, because it's got some really good ideas and it shows you how to make the things as well. Don't forget to follow me over on my vlog channel, Life by Claire. Bye for now.